The spoonful of stuffing that was halfway to my mouth when my 6-month-old daughter started crying is the only reason I'm alive today. If Lily hadn't screamed at that exact moment, if I hadn't put down my fork to check on her, I would have eaten the stuffing my mother-in-law Marie had carefully laced with enough antifreeze to kill me in front of 23 family members at Thanksgiving dinner. I'm Rachel, I'm 27, and last November my mother-in-law tried to murder me at the family Thanksgiving because she wanted custody of my baby. She'd been poisoning me slowly for 3 months, documenting my deteriorating health to build a custody case. But Thanksgiving was meant to be the finale where I'd die of sudden illness, and she'd heroically step in to raise my daughter. Before I tell you how the nanny cam in Lily's diaper bag recorded everything, including Marie crushing pills while saying I don't deserve to be a mother, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Because what I found out about her previous daughter-in-law will make you never trust family dinners again. Let me paint you the complete picture of how a normal mother-in-law relationship turned into attempted murder over a baby. I married James when I was 24. His mother Marie seemed perfect. She was a retired paediatric nurse, volunteered at church, made incredible apple pie, and cried happy tears at our wedding. She called me the daughter she never had, since James was her only child. When I got pregnant, Marie was ecstatic. She threw my baby shower, bought the entire nursery furniture, and moved to a house 5 minutes away to help with the baby. I thought I'd won the mother-in-law lottery. My own mom died when I was 16, so having Marie felt like getting a second chance at that relationship. But everything changed the moment Lily was born. Marie went from helpful to obsessive. She had opinions about everything. Breast milk wasn't good enough. My parenting was too soft. I held Lily too much. I didn't hold her enough. She'd written a 17-page birth plan that I didn't follow. She bought a crib for her house and called it Lily's real nursery. James thought she was just an excited grandmother. I thought she was just overbearing. Neither of us realized she was documenting every moment I struggled, every time I cried from exhaustion, every mistake I made as evidence that I was an unfit mother. The poisoning started when Lily was 3 months old. It began with tea. Marie brought me special herbal tea for breastfeeding mothers. She'd make it herself from herbs she grew in her garden. It tasted bitter, but she said that meant it was working. I drank it every day when she visited, which was every day. Within a week, I was dizzy. 2 weeks, constant headaches. 3 weeks, I could barely stand without the room spinning. Marie documented everything in her phone. I know because I found the folder, later titled Project Guardian, where she photographed me looking exhausted, recorded me stumbling, videoed me crying. She convinced James I had postpartum depression, convinced him I needed help, convinced him that maybe I should stay with her for a while so she could take care of both me and Lily. She was so caring, so concerned. She drove me to doctor appointments where she'd describe my symptoms while I sat there too foggy to argue. The doctor prescribed antidepressants. Marie picked them up for me. Except what she gave me wasn't what the doctor prescribed. She was giving me double doses of sedatives from her nursing days, mixed with something that made me violently ill every morning. By October, I'd lost 20 pounds. I could barely hold Lily without shaking. Marie had convinced James to add her to Lily's daycare pickup list just in case I was too sick. She'd installed cameras in our house for safety to watch me with the baby. She'd gotten James to give her power of attorney if anything happened to me. November was going to be her final move. Thanksgiving dinner. The perfect crime. 23 witnesses to see me suddenly collapse from what looked like my mysterious illness finally taking its toll. She'd already told everyone she was worried about me. Already planted seeds that I wasn't well. Already positioned herself as the concerned mother-in-law trying desperately to help. What she didn't know was that I'd started recording everything too. November 23rd, 2024. Marie's house. The whole family gathered. James's aunts, uncles, cousins, their kids. The dining room was perfect. China plates, crystal glasses, a turkey that belonged in a magazine. Marie had insisted on making everything herself. No one else was allowed to bring food. I was assigned stuffing. She said it was the only thing she trusted me to eat properly given my health. She'd made a special plate for me with extra portions because I needed to gain weight. She watched me like a hawk, making sure I was eating. Lily was in her high chair next to me. I'd brought the diaper bag with everything she needed. What Marie didn't know was that 3 weeks earlier I'd hidden a nanny cam in that bag. I'd started suspecting something was wrong when I noticed I only felt sick after her visits. The camera had been recording her for weeks. As everyone sat down to eat, Marie made a toast to family, to health, to the blessing of grandchildren. She looked directly at me when she said how important it was for children to be raised by capable guardians. Everyone raised their glasses. I raised mine filled with water because Marie said alcohol wasn't good for my medication. I picked up my fork. The stuffing looked perfect. Sage, rosemary, butter, glistening. Marie watched me. Everyone was eating, talking, laughing. I brought the fork to my mouth. That's when Lily screamed. Not a normal cry. A shriek like something was wrong. I dropped the fork and turned to her. Her face was red. She was choking on a piece of bread someone had given her. I grabbed her out of the high chair. Did the infant Heimlich maneuver? The bread popped out. Lily gasped and started crying normally. Everyone was standing, panicking. Marie looked furious for just a second before switching to concerned grandmother mode. In the chaos, my plate got knocked over. The stuffing spilled on the floor. Marie's dog, Max, ran over and ate some. Within 20 minutes, Max was convulsing. Within 30, he was dead. The vet said it was antifreeze poisoning. Sweet tasting, deadly and common in garages. Marie cried about her poor dog, said it must have gotten into something outside. But I knew. The stuffing was meant for me. That night, I told James I wasn't feeling well and needed to go home. Marie insisted I stay, said she'd take care of me. But I left with Lily. At home, I pulled the memory card from the nanny cam and watched 3 weeks of footage. There she was, Marie in my house while I slept, going through my pills. Marie pouring something into my tea from a bottle she kept in her purse. Marie taking photos of me passed out on the couch. And the worst one from that morning, Marie in her kitchen, crushing pills into the stuffing while practicing her grieving grandmother's speech about how she'd tried so hard to help me, but my illness was too severe. But the audio was the evidence that sealed everything. Clear as day, Marie on the phone with someone saying Rachel won't make it through dinner. By tomorrow, I'll have custody papers filed. The trust fund James's father left for Lily will default to me as guardian. $3 million and my granddaughter. It's worth a few tears at a funeral. I called the police immediately. They said without proof the stuffing was poisoned, it was hard to prosecute attempted murder. So I did something risky. I went back to Marie's house at 2 a.m. while everyone slept and took samples of everything. The stuffing in the trash, the tea bags, the pill bottles in her bathroom. The lab results were terrifying. The stuffing contained enough ethylene glycol to kill an adult in hours. The tea had been laced with ipecac, which causes severe nausea. The pills she'd been giving me were veterinary sedatives she'd kept from when she worked at an animal hospital before becoming a nurse. But here's the thing that haunts me most. The police investigation uncovered something about James's father's first wife. She died of sudden illness when their son was 6 months old. Marie had been the loving mother-in-law who tried everything to save her, who'd heroically stepped in to raise the baby when the father couldn't cope with grief. The body was exhumed. Traces of antifreeze were found. Marie was arrested at her church's Wednesday night service. She was leading a prayer group for grieving mothers when the police walked in. She tried to run, actually pushed over two elderly women and sprinted for the back door in her pencil skirt and pearls. They found her home was a pharmacy of poisons. 63 different toxic substances, labelled and organised. A journal dating back 30 years, with detailed notes about dosages and effects. Photos of me at various stages of poisoning with notes like Day 45, balance affected, or Week 8, weight loss significant. But the most chilling discovery was her computer. She'd been on forums for grandparent custody rights. She'd posted asking for advice about proving a mother unfit. She'd researched how long antifreeze takes to kill, how to mask the taste, and whether it shows up in standard autopsies. She'd also been looking at preschools for Lily, had already filled out enrolment forms, had redecorated a room as a princess nursery, had legally changed her will to leave everything to Lily, but only if Marie was her guardian. During the investigation, 3 other families came forward. Women who'd married into families where Marie was a friend or distant relative. Women who'd gotten mysteriously ill after having babies. 2 had lost custody. 1 had died. All of them had Marie somewhere in their lives, the helpful older woman who just wanted to assist with the baby. The trial was a sensation. Marie showed up in court looking like a sweet grandmother. Grey hair in a bun, reading glasses, soft cardigan. Her lawyer claimed she was a confused old woman who'd accidentally used the wrong ingredients. That she'd never hurt anyone. That she loved her family. Then the prosecution played the nanny cam footage. Marie crushing pills. Marie talking about the $3 million trust fund. Marie practicing her fake grief. The jury watched this sweet-looking grandmother plan murder while baby-talking to a photo of Lily. She was convicted of attempted murder, poisoning, and conspiracy to commit fraud. The judge called her a calculated predator who used her position as a trusted family member to prey on vulnerable new mothers. 35 years to life with no possibility of parole for 20 years. Their other cases are still being investigated. 3 exhumations have been ordered. Marie might be one of the most prolific family poisoners in US history. James divorced me 6 months later. He couldn't handle that his mother was a killer. Couldn't look at Lily without seeing Marie. Couldn't forgive me for being right about her. He signed away custody and moved to Canada. We haven't heard from him since. I'm a single mum now. Lily is 2 and thriving. She'll never know her grandmother wanted her so badly she was willing to kill for her. She'll never know her father chose denial over truth. She'll just know she's loved and safe. But I check everything now. Every meal, every drink. I have cameras in every room. I background check every babysitter. I trust no one completely. Because the person who tried to kill me baked cookies with me, threw my baby shower, and held my hand during labour. If your mother-in-law seems too interested in your baby, document everything. If you get sick only around certain people, get tested. If someone offers to help too much, question why. The signs were all there. I just thought love couldn't exist with murder. I was wrong. Comment below if you've ever had a toxic mother-in-law. I need to know I'm not alone in this. Subscribe and hit the bell because Monday's video exposes the daycare that was drugging babies for nap time and why 12 parents are now suing. Like this video if 35 years wasn't enough. She killed before. She would have killed again. She should never see freedom. Share this with every new mum you know. Sometimes the biggest threat is the person offering to help the most. If this video hits 5 million views, I'll release the full nanny cam footage with audio of Marie planning everything. My lawyer says it's the most disturbing evidence he's ever seen in a family crime. Watch the video about the roommate who poisoned me with Ozempic. At least she just wanted to be skinny. Marie wanted my actual baby. Or check out my family betrayal playlist, where every story will make you grateful for your dysfunctional but non-murderous relatives. Drop a baby bottle emoji if you made it to the end, because you're amazing for listening to this. Hug your babies tight and trust your instincts. They're usually right. See you Monday with evidence that will shut down corrupt daycares nationwide.